between the pages, the rhythmic beats of the drum. Hi there, welcome to another edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm Adrian Atkinson. Stay with us, there is much to know and learn.
When you're on the road, take your time. When you're on the road, bear this in mind. When you're on the road, you could save a life when you're on the road.
Good day, I'm Lorraine Mendez and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, July 16. Approximately $200 million will be spent over the next 18 months to install 14 new elevators at hospitals in the Southeast Regional Health Authority SERHA divisions. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton made the announcement at a ceremony on Friday to commission a new elevator at the Victoria Jubilee Hospital.
This year we are on track to install another 8 elevators. So we're going to be doing 3 more here at Victoria Jubilee, 3 at Kingston Public Hospital, Dr. Wiley. So we're not forgetting you. 1 at Bustamante Hospital for Children, and 1 more at Spanish Town Hospital.
2 of the elevators will also be installed at the National Chest Hospital. Meanwhile, the Kingston Public Hospital already received 1 of 4 elevators. Spanish Town Hospital 1 of 2, and the Princess Margaret Hospital has been given 1. The Southeast Regional Health Authority serves approximately 1.4 million people in Kingston and St. Andrew, St. Catherine and St. Thomas. Government will be allocating $200 million to finance business and entrepreneurial programs at tertiary institutions interested in taking up the offer. The money is set aside in the 2019-2020 budget for research. Minister of Finance Dr. Nigel Clark says the funds are part of the administration's move to drive entrepreneurship through research and development.
What we will do is allocate those funds across the research university space in a way that is transparent and in reference to some objective criteria, and leave it to the universities under some MOU with the Minister of Finance, that's very general, to run the internal competitions for the allocation of those funds.
Minister Clark was speaking recently at the opening ceremony for the Mona School of Business and Management's 4th Business and Management Conference. Also coming out of the conference, the Finance Minister disclosed that government would be seeking technical support from the Inter-American Development Bank, the IDB, to commercialize research done by local tertiary institutions. This will be done through the Development Bank of Jamaica, the DBJ.
These things normally come with loans, so they lend you money and then they have all of the consulting with it. We're in the process of negotiating that now, and I hope before too long it is something that we can launch. And as I said, a key component of it will be to enhance our ability to commercialize research.
Dr. Clark asserted that there was a great degree of innovation evolving from academic institutions in countries where entrepreneurship thrives. He cited Cambridge University, from which 4,600 companies were formed, employing approximately 60,000 persons.
That is what becomes possible when you focus on entrepreneurship at a university in the way that you're doing, and you have in your audience people from science and from other backgrounds. And that has to be the vision for Jamaica, and it certainly is possible.
The Ministry of Labour and Social Security will be getting 3 buses shortly for use as mobile offices. Portfolio Minister Shahini Robinson says these will allow for increased access to its services as the ministry goes into communities. The mobile offices will accommodate the registration of NIS beneficiaries, including senior citizens and persons with disabilities. In the meantime, she says public access points for the ministry's electronic labour exchange is being increased through the installation of kiosks in all parish offices.
St. Catherine, St. Anne and Hanover have already been outfitted with St. Elizabeth and Harbour Street next in line. We are also exploring standalone units at partner locations such as the Up Park Camp facility of the Jamaica Defence Force. We are also trying to ensure that the key services of the ministry are accessible to the communities and deep rural Jamaica.
Minister Robinson was making her sectoral presentation in the House of Representatives recently. Meanwhile, the Labour Ministry will be intensifying its community engagement series and national awareness programs in approximately 25 communities across the country this year. Minister Shahini Robinson says the hands-on approach has been hugely successful. She points out that in 2018, the PATH team visited 65 communities and processed 3,500 applications for new families, or over 14,000 individuals.
I was deeply touched when one resident shared with me that through this initiative, she was able to gain employment after many years of being unemployed. And there are many other examples like this as we bring hope to the youths and other vulnerable Jamaicans.
And finally, Parliamentary Secretary Senator Robert Morgan says the government will continue to build out the country's digital platform to create a comprehensive and centralized ICT system. This is being funded through a $68 million loan from the Inter-American Development Bank for the implementation of the National Identification System, NIDS.
The government ICT upgrade is basically to assist us in creating a secure platform where we can keep the information of our citizens secure and create a framework where our citizens can do business better and interact with the government in a more efficient way.
Mr. Morgan was addressing a recent Rotary Club of Kingston meeting. Simultaneous with the ICT upgrade, he said government would continue consultations and education on the benefits of NIDS. These include streamlining social welfare, preventing identity theft, and creating a digital economy. And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Lorraine Mendez. Thank you for watching.
Jamaica's beauty is our duty. Prevent bushfires during the windy, dry season. Remove firewood, dried grass, or bush away from your house. Never use fires to clear land. Never light a fire in an open area when it's windy. Ensure cigarette butts, matches, or other lighting materials are out before disposal. And use an ashtray. Don't throw cigarette butts out of your window. High winds and dry conditions can be a fiery combination. Lend a hand. Protect our land from fires.
Move to the right in threes. Right turn. Move to the left in threes. Squad will retire. Left turn. About time.
This is not training for the Cadet Corps. There is a new co-curricular club in schools, the Fire Wardens Club. The Jamaica Fire Brigade has embarked on a new initiative. It involves children and is being implemented in schools across the country. The initiative is similar to that of many other school-based co-curricular programs. The only difference? This club reinforces the importance of disaster preparedness, management, and restoration. The main aim is to reduce the country's susceptibility to significant damage from natural and man-made disasters.
Ready? Down. Up.
What to do if your clothes are on fire?
The program is now being implemented in schools across the country since its inception at institutions in St. Catherine in 2017.
Welcome to Great and Concord Primary School Fire Wardens Club.
What do you feel when you feel an earthquake?
Shaking.
Shaking, yes.
Things falling.
Things falling, yes. And you are frightened too. When I showed you the video, did you see where the road split?
Yes.
And you saw cars going down into the between the. Yes.
We initially started with a quiz competition that went on to the primary schools. So we realized that we needed something a little more tangible where we can actually have the Fire Wardens Club in the schools. The motto of the club is
Preparing today for disasters tomorrow.
we are preparing these students so that whenever there's a disaster, they will be ready to help within the schools, home, and churches. So we would teach them to be ready when there's an earthquake, so they would know the procedure, they would know the drill.
Wait.
We prepare them to help their schoolmates if somebody got injured and need to be moved from one place to the other. If there's a fire, we also taught them about the bucket brigade. They can get some water. You might have known that there are times when children are trapped, children are also burnt in fires. Now, if these children were taught and have some idea of what to do, the possibility that they could have helped themselves.
Within the schools, a teacher is assigned to the club, and for that purpose is given the title of a superintendent.
Our students are very enthusiastic about the club, and they get involved in many different activities as it pertains to knowing and disseminating information about disasters and disaster mitigation. One of the best agents for information are children, and parents respond to children. So when the children know certain things about how to manage disasters, what are some of the right things to do, they can help to inform their parents, and in turn the parents will inform the community members to respond. And in a community like Portmore, where there are so many potential disasters waiting to happen, it is important that Greater Portmore and the schools in Greater Portmore know about Fire Wardens Club and become involved in it.
Fire Wardens Clubites are also engaged in humanitarian activities, visiting children's and nursing homes.
I just love how they do things. You have to do them proper, and if you don't do them proper, sometimes you get kicked out of the club.
The Fire Wardens Club is very fun, and I get to do drills like fire safety, earthquake, tsunamis, and fire drill, because it helps us to blow out fires.
The Fire Warden Club teaches us to do drill, teach us when what to do when your clothes is on fire. Stop, drop, cover your face and room.
It's a great club to join, and I love it because you have fun and it's helping your community and schools to raise disaster awareness.
If someone's house is being flooded out, I can help them by take them out of the house and take out the good stuff like the birth papers and the passports.
Loss of life and property as a result of natural and man-made disasters should be minimized as the Fire Wardens Club expands and more children get involved.
It's summer and the children are at home. The four walls at home that they see day in and day out will not be sufficient to beat boredom. Why not take them out to see the beauty of Jamaica? The National Museum of Jamaica provides a touch tour specifically geared towards children, especially those who are visually impaired. Watch this.
When I was a tour guide here at the Institute of Jamaica, you'll have, visitors just coming into our museum space, whether it's a teacher, a parent, even tertiary students. They would come in and they would say, what kind of programs do you have for someone who is blind? Because I have a sister or a brother who is blind, and I didn't have an answer for them. As time went on, I started thinking about, there must be something that I can do to create a program that would impact that kind of disability. So I said, well, if they can't see, they can definitely learn in a tactile way.
Stephanie's idea flourished. In 2016, she launched Touch Tours at the National Museum Jamaica in collaboration with my school, the Salvation Army School for the Blind. Come, let me show you what Touch Tours are all about.
I have my most favorite piece throughout all my exploration. I have
very good.
Pewter flagon.
Very good. Very
it's
good.
Smooth. It's like a thermos, and it has an opener.
Very good.
And it inside it they put wine and other stuff.
Very good.
So, just in case you're wondering, These guided touch tours are free of cost. The tours aim to engage students like me who are blind, visually impaired, or have developmental or cognitive disabilities. Here's more.
We do it in small numbers, no more than 6 to 10 students at a time. And so what we do, we set up an area, we set up a table, and we select an artifact that is related to a particular theme. So let's say we want them to learn about the Taino people or the Africans or the Chinese. We would select those artifacts. We allow them to come into that area that is set up for the touch tours.
Go, Sarah. It has a little smooth texture, and it's bumpy. It doesn't have like it's smooth and it will be straight and flat.
Right.
It's bumpy. And it's kind of straight, but it has a little curve.
Yes.
And they have a little hole inside.
And do you remember where that piece came from? We talked about it. Do you remember from which animal it came from?
The elephant.
The elephant. And it's called what? Ivory. Ivory. Very good. And so we engage them, we talk to them, we allow them to engage with the artifact. They, stretch their hands out, and we ask them, to feel what is in front of them, and we ask them questions like, what do you think this is? We want them to engage with the artifact in exploring different shapes, different textures, how it feels, different weight, and so on, to ignite their metaphorical thinking. And that is what Touch Tours is really all about. What are you holding, Deidre?
A baby doll.
Very good. Tell us the story behind that. You remember what I said?
When they have a twin and one of them died, they made this to represent it.
Very good.
As you can see, just like any other guided tours for students, we get to learn about the wide range of artifacts at the museum through touch.
The National Museum is the repository of Jamaica's cultural heritage. So we house over 17,000 artifacts representing our tangible cultural heritage. Some of the permanent exhibitions we have at the National Museum Jamaica, we have Ubuntu, Taino, and Treasures, Mysteries, and Stories.
This exhibition space name is Ubuntu. What's the name? Ubuntu. Now we're all speaking Zulu.
Ubuntu reflects our African heritage. We have artifacts representing the Yoruba tribe, the Ashanti tribe, we have Ibeji dolls, all fun stuff. As you can see behind us, we have some masks from various regions in Africa. Taino is basically reflecting the Taino heritage that we have here, the Taino culture. So all things Taino you can find in the Taino exhibition. Treasures, Mysteries, and Stories is our newest exhibition space. Treasures because our artifacts are our national treasures. Mysteries because some of our artifacts we don't have a story behind them of how we acquired them or a background story. And then some of them we have a full story as to how we acquired them and the nature surrounding those particular artifacts, where they're from, who used it before, detailed information about it. So that is what Treasures, Mysteries, and Stories is about.
To learn more about touch tours and the interesting artifacts, just call the National Museum Jamaica. It is open to the public Mondays to Fridays from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. See you soon!
Hey there. So, did you know that plastic bags were introduced to supermarkets in 1977? The production of plastic bags are toxic to the environment as the process involves the use of petroleum, natural gas, and other chemicals. 160,000 plastic bags are used globally every second, and 5 trillion are produced yearly. Side by side, they can encircle the world 7 times. Plastic degrades after 700 years and will only fully degrade in 1,000. This means that all the plastic that has ever been produced has not degraded. It remains toxic even after it breaks down. 13 million metric tons of plastic end up in the ocean every year, and at least 800 species worldwide are affected by marine debris, of which 80% is plastic and is mistaken for food by turtles, fish, and other marine life. Research has shown that fish caught for human consumption contain plastic nanoparticles. An average family will use 60 plastic bags on 4 visits to the supermarket, and only 1 to 3% are recycled worldwide. Play your part in advancing your welfare and that of the earth. Support the ban on plastic. Reduce, reuse, recycle, and get eco-friendly bags for you and your 1877.
The Jamaica Cultural Development Commission, JCDC, recently staged its annual Drum Fest. We were there and were totally captivated. Get moving. Drumming is next.
Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you to Drum Fest 2019.
We are here for Drum Fest. This is the premier section for drummers. It's equivalent to the national finals, just for drummers. We wanted to improve the standard as well as get more persons involved in drumming and to see, the part it plays in our culture. So we had that Drum Fest separated, and once it started, there was no turning back because it caters to a different audience than national finals for instrumentalists and vocalists. Each year it's getting larger and larger. We have a total of 42 competitors. 42 competitors in terms of schools, but of course for the ensemble presentations you can have up to 14 persons in a group. We are talking about mostly our young people. We're talking about primary schools, prep schools, high schools, community groups all over Jamaica. We even have semi-professionals who enter the competition. We have some teachers of drums who also group up and enter. We have congas, we have djembes, we also have even the trap sets. We have all types of drums, African drums, Jamaican drums, and we have the auxiliary instruments that we use as well, maracas, we have cowbells. Check our history. From as far back as you can think, our African heritage and drumming. You say drum, you equate that to Africa. So we find that our students naturally, Jamaican students naturally gravitate towards drumming. They play syncopated rhythms just casually. They don't even realize how technical it is, and they don't understand really that what they are doing is not as easy as they think.
We basically come here to just motivate the kids and let them know that good drummers are here that they can learn from and they can actually have a career from this. Most people might not know, or most people might think that you can't have a career from our kind of music, which is hand drumming, but that is not so. Because if you take a look at, for instance, Chronics and Kabaka Pyramid, they have 2 percussionists on their band.
For me, it's just a way to express how I feel. When you come home from, or when you leave school in the afternoon, you go drum rehearsal, feel good about yourself, release out of stress, and just a way to express yourself creatively and stuff. We've been to a lot of embassies with RD drummers. I really like it because I get to go places and meet a lot of people that are very important. Different experiences, they go all over Jamaica. It's just fun. It's a whole lot, it's a brotherhood because I'm not the only girl. Well, not really the only girl, but there are not a lot of girls. I play djembe, but if we're doing Jamaica rhythms, we play Jamaican drums like congas and stuff.
I also teach it in Ensom City Primary School, and the whole school want to join. Everyone put their hand in the air. Sir, me can play now. Look here, me can play now. Like, that's great, motivating and encouraging for us.
I like music and I want to do it in my career. I like that the sounds of the rhythm them and the type of songs I play with the rhythm.
It's nice to play, it encourages me and everybody else and feel the vibes and everything.
We would really want to make it bigger and better. We would want to have better prizes to give to the performers. They have worked really, really hard. And yes, we know they will be getting, trophies at the end, but we have others who are also excellent that we would want to give incentives and so on. So I see the competition going there.
A little trip, you see. We go to New York City. So we get up early one morning, gone to the embassy. Me have me car tied up, the bank book and me job letter with me pay. But the man behind the window, on the look for me and say, hey, Mr. Brown, can you prove to me that you will not run away? Mr. Brown, can you prove to me that you will not overstay? Me never want to get vexed. We just have to think what next. I said, sir, let me tell you something about myself. I saw me lead, I saw me grow, I saw me friend them day, I saw me know, I saw have sweet woman reggae music and temperature turn up right, I saw me low, I saw well nice. In the line right next to me was a nice young miss, you see. Tell me, say, she have a little shop and she need some things in Miami. Well, me no know where them say to her, but it look like they get her out. Me uncle here when she kiss her teeth and then she start all out. I saw me lead, I saw me grow, I saw me friend them day, I saw me know, I saw have jerk, chicken, coconut water and food full of spice. I saw me low, I saw well nice. In the middle of the embassy, everybody start rock with me. We sing out why we love Jamaica eternally. We tell them about roast, breadfruit, bulla and pear. All kind of fruits are right through the air. Mountains, rivers, warm sea water. Good school for me son and me daughter. And when our time for your fun, everything turn up vibes can't done. I saw well, I saw well, I saw well now.
The magazine closes for today, but please visit our social media pages. We're just a click away. You may also download our app to be notified of our latest stories and features. Don't forget to give us a like or leave a comment on our pages. Until next time, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Do take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.